Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and I have a subscriber request. So my friend Jim, he left a comment on my Facebook page, and he asked me to review Creed. Now, he wasn't specific. I don't know which album he meant, so I chose the one I have on CD. I have here, I lost the cover for it, but it's Human Clay, and I'm going to talk about it today. So, if you haven't already, check me out on Facebook. You can find me at JC Rock and Metal Reviews. So I post on there every day, and it's also a good place if you'd like to private message me if you ever want to chat or talk to me about something that you don't want to post in the comment section or something like that. So let's talk about Creed. They're an alternative rock band. They were formed in 1994. So the main frontman of the band is Scott Stapp. Now, we know him probably because of all of his run-ins with the law. Now, I'm not going to go over them in the video, but that would probably be a good topic for its own video. So, the top 10 Scott Stapp arrests. So let me know in the comment section if you would like me to actually make this video. So, Creed released 4 albums during their career. So their first was My Own Prison. That one came out in 1997. So at that time they were compared to many bands like Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, even like Hootie and the Blowfish or Metallica or Tool. Now after that they released another album called Human Clay. This is what I'm going to talk about today. And in 2001 they released the album called Weathered. And that was a very successful album. That one went 6 times platinum. So a few of the tracks from that album were My Sacrifice and One Last Breath. And they released one more album in 2009, and that one's called Full Circle. So that album received mixed to positive reviews and the critics did say they did appreciate the new, heavier, darker side of Creed. For this video, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a top 10 countdown of facts about the album Human Clay. Then after that, I'm just going to talk about the 4 major songs from the album. So number 10, we have the album peaked number 1 on the Billboard 200 and stayed there for 2 weeks. So this was back in 1999, and it was just before the new metal and the modern metal explosion of the 2000s. And you can even say that this band kind of kicked off that alternative rock craze in the early 2000s. Number 9, so the album had 2 top 10 singles in the Hot 100. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. And this was really an impressive feat for this band of this nature that was kind of originally written off as a carbon copy of grunge band. 8, so the album sold over 11.5 million copies in the US. And at that time, one of the best-selling albums in the US. This was an impressive achievement for a band of this musical style. 7, Human Clay is the only Creed album not to have a title track. All the other albums had one. 6, the album cover represents crossroads where every man finds himself in life, and the Clay Man represents our actions, our path, and our destiny. I think that's a pretty cool factoid. 5, so the album received 4 out of 5 stars. Stephen Thomas Erlewine, who was a critic of the online music database, he said something like, I'm going to read this right now, "It may not be the kind of thing that knocks out critics or grunge purists, but it does deliver for anyone looking for direct, grunge-flavored hard rock." Number 4, the album spent 104 weeks on the Billboard charts. Number 3, With Arms Wide Open won a Grammy for the Best Rock Song in 2001. Number 2, Human Clay was ranked number 5 on Billboard's Top 200 Albums of the Decade in 2009. And number 1, With Arms Wide Open was ranked number 4 of VH1's 25 Greatest Power Ballads list. Okay, so I think we kind of forget that 22 years ago, this was a really big band and a big album. I think the actions of Scott Stapp and the whole cancel culture thing kind of caused people to forget the band. It's either that or maybe the band just wasn't as good to begin with and didn't stand the test of time. So you can let me know your opinion on that topic in the comment section below. Let's talk about the 4 songs from the album. So The first major hit was Higher. So like most of the songs, it starts out with a clean guitar, goes into a heavy riff, the verse section. It's played with a clean guitar, and they're using a song structure that's often used by bands like Nirvana. Has the clean verse, heavy chorus. And I think it works in this song, but you know, the band Creed have always had their signature guitar tone that made it very unique. Next is the song What If. So it starts out with a clean guitar riff, and it really reminds me of like this Dio song. I just can't think of which one it is right now. There's some like atmospheric feedback and a clean riff. I mean, the main riff is heavy, reminds you of something from like the grunge days. Sounds like the guitars are tuned in drop D. The guitar riff has that type of sound. There's a cool breakdown at the 2-minute mark with a bass section. So I really like the sound of like the palm muted guitars. And the closing riff of the song is very heavy. And I think like sometimes we forget that these type of songs were played on like mainstream rock radio and pop radio, and you know, they're played all the time. So next is the song With Arms Wide Open. So this is the big song from the album. So the intro played on the clean electric guitar, and the song's about feelings someone has, you know, while expecting a baby. So about like a little over 10 years ago, I was still living in the US, and I was vacationing in Niagara Falls on the New York side, and I walked across the border to the Canadian side. You know, I was by myself because the other people I was vacationing with were doing something else at that time. So I was there, and I walked into this bar, and this bar had karaoke. So I started, I had a few of those Molson Canadians, and I decided to, you know, I'll just sign up for karaoke, and I sang With Arms Wide Open. And that song With Arms Wide Open is something I'll like always remember, and the song that I did sing karaoke in Canada. So that's a very memorable song for me. Number 4 is Are You Ready? So this is the album opener. Has a clean guitar riff. It has that like signature guitar tone. Very heavy, has like a Soundgarden feel. The chorus has some cool guitar tones and some like vocal layers. Yeah, at this 2 minutes, like there's a break. And it does sound a lot like Soundgarden to me. You know, Scott Stapp has this vocal style that's very reminiscent of Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder. You know, a track like this, you know, we can definitely hear like the grunge band comparisons. That's it. Human Clay by the band Creed is probably something, not a very popular band, but I think it's worth going back to. Give it a listen. You know, check it out. You know, maybe it's something you'd like to add to your collection, you know, maybe not, but let me know what you think. I'm signing out right now, so you can make any comments if you like. And other than that, check out these other videos that I linked over here, and I will see you in the next one.